course.
So when expectation is too high, and you're only delivering this much, even if you are meeting your own targets, it's not sufficient.
So, are there any external or internal entities supporting the corporation in achieving these objectives?
Not really. It's all ours. Even government, we don't really have any government support except for a tax holidays. We are exempted from tax. So in a way, the government is supporting us there. There are moves from the government to help us. They are, for example, I think the government is giving rebate for people that we train. Let's say we train people, they'll give you, I think, 5,000 pesos for every.
So we have full exemption from tax.
Full exemption from tax for the first 6 years and possibly maybe even up to 8 years. So that's why the government. That's really why government is encouraging multinationals to locate here. So taxes is on the other hand, yeah. So the government. But on the other hand, the church sometimes, people, they don't like what the multinationals are doing. Every time there's a riot here, I mean, every time there's this is the main targets are Citibank, you see it here, and then Shell. So we have, but yeah.
Are there any external or internal entities that are in opposition to the corporation's achievement aside from the church?
Opposition?
Yeah, that.
Who would oppose us?
Aside from the church that you mentioned.
The church doesn't really. Not us.
Sorry.
We are actually I mean the organizations here are very supportive because we employ a lot of people. Who will be against us? Well, there are some organizations in the U.S. because the U.S. They're losing jobs to Filipinos, so there are people in the U.S. that complain.
So
in fact, it was an issue in the last election in the U.S. That outsourcing.
So how about other local corporations?
Yeah,
here, there is no, because we are really export oriented. We don't really affect. In fact, everybody likes us. The McDonald's, the Jollibees like us. Every time we put up our own facilities, they're there because they want to sell McDonald's. They want to sell Jollibee. There's always a Jollibee close to what we have.
So if there's any opposition, how does the corporation respond? What does the corporation do?
Well, it depends. As I said, we don't really encounter any opposition, but we don't even go to lobbying. That's what you mean. We don't lobby. So we've not done it. But there is an organization. It's called the BPAP, the BPO Association of the Philippines, and the call center. So that's really where where we do. Not really lobbying, but where we have a cooperation. But it's mainly to regulate people from pirating employees from one another. That's an issue. A real main issue here is.
So, are there any issues befalling the corporation as of the moment? Issues relating to, for example, budget deficits, intellectual property rights?
We don't have any. The only thing that's really having a toll on us is the exchange rate. The peso is appreciated, and we are exporting. So we are effectively getting paid less in terms of pesos. So it's affected our margin to a certain extent.
So how do this originate, or how did they begin?
This exchange rate, God knows.
It's
really uncontrollable. The peso somehow is coming. I think maybe, the economy is doing well.
Yeah, the peso is winning.
Yeah,
I heard.